Hey everybody out there, I hope you guys are all doing well today. And today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you the best deck for April 2020. Yes, this is definitely top of the meta, hands down, with no tournaments going on. This is by far a deck that can compete against all those meta decks out there right now, I didn't want to profile this deck on April 1st, on April Fool's Day, because, this is not a joke deck by any stretch of the imagination. This deck can definitely win tournaments right now because there's no tournaments going on. So it could possibly win a tournament and win a YCS, win a regionals. It definitely can do that because Crab Turtle is broken in this current April 2020 format. I can't say that with a freaking straight face, can I? Yeah, Crab Turtle. Like back in the day, everybody loves Hungry Hamburger. Me, dude, I love Crab Turtle. Crab Turtle's awesome. It's weird, it's awkward, it's half crab and half turtle. Like, what are you? So without further ado, guys, let's get into today's deck profile of Crab Turtle. I try to update this deck, at least once a year, because I love it to pieces. It's such a fun deck to play. And it's actually like, I've tried to make this deck the best way you can, though. I will say that. So first off, we have 3 Crab Turtle. What's the benefits of this card? Well, it's pretty much a vanilla monster. It's a ritual. That's 2,550 attack. That 50 attack extra, right? And 2,500 defense. With Legendary Ocean on the field, which we do run in the deck, guys, as you can tell. It's going to be 2,750 attack. So it can become a pretty big beater, with Miss Starboy on the field. It gets 500 attack. So, it's going to be 3,050 attack. So it can beat over a Blue Eyes White Dragon sometimes. Yep. So we just run Crab Turtle because. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the deck. 3 Jiske Shadow. Now you guys may be familiar with this card if you've ever played Gishkis before. The reason I'm running this deck is because this card's really good for getting out Crab Turtle, which is necessary. So usually Crab Turtle is going to require 2 tributes. But with Jiske Shadow, when it's on the field, if it's a water ritual monster, it only requires 1 tribute. So you can have Jiske Shadow on the field, tribute it, and bring out Crab Turtle right away using Turtle Oath. So you have Turtle Oath, tribute this, Crab Turtle. Pretty straightforward. So that's where I run Jiske Shadow. We do run some cards to help tutor it out of the deck because it's probably, I would say, the best way of getting Crab Turtle out consistently. Next up, we run 3 Legendary Fisherman 2. Legendary Fisherman 2 is a pretty good card on its own. If you remember seeing a couple of weeks ago, I profiled a Legendary Fisherman deck. A Legendary Fisherman 2, I just like throwing it into different water decks because it's pretty decent, actually, overall. I definitely really like it. Next up, we run 3 Warrior of Atlantis. Now, Warrior of Atlantis, I've had these ultis forever, by the way. I've had these things for freaking forever. The First Ed ultis. Because back in the day, I actually used to play Legendary Ocean Beatdown. And, yeah, I got these back then because they were cheap and they were fun to play with. So if you guys don't know what Warrior of Atlantis does, if you guys know Gravekeeper's Commandant, you guys know Archfiend's Commander, I think it's called. Forgive me if I'm wrong. That searches Panic. Whatever that freaking field spell card is for Archfiends, the old one. Harpy Queen, which is searches Harpy Hunting Ground, things of that nature. It's one of those monster field searchers where you can just pitch it from your hand, and then you can search out right away Legendary Ocean, which is, like I said, essential to the deck. So next up, I run 2 Summoner Monk. Now you may be asking, why are you not running 3 Summoner Monk? Why are you not doing that? I don't understand. There's a couple reasons why. Number 1 being is because you're not using Summoner Monk so much to go into rank 4 plays and things of that nature. You're mainly using Summoner Monk in the aspect where I talked about earlier to bring out Jiske Shadow. Because if you look at your deck, you have a lot of spell cards, right? And some of these spell cards will be dead. That is a given. So for that reason, you know, it's really nice to have a Summoner Monk, pitch, you know, a dead spell, bring out Jiske Shadow, and then go for your Crab Turtle play. It's pretty straightforward. So that's why we run Jiske, the 2 Summoner Monk, because it helps tutor that out for the deck. Sometimes you can tutor other cards, but not most of the time. Most of the time, you're going to tutor out Jiske Shadow, but there are other water monsters you can tutor out sometimes. But it's pretty much to help bring out other cards from the deck. 2 Hammerhead Shark. This is pretty much like Marauding Captain for the deck. The reason I like this card is because if you draw Jiske Shadow, you can bring this out, and then you can have the Jiske Shadow and still have a monster on the field with a Crab Turtle. Sometimes you use this thing for link plays. It's really nice for that reason, to help go for certain link monsters and help do other things. So I definitely like the 2 Hammerhead Shark in this build because it's kind of like a double. You require a lot of on your normal summon, and this allows you to do more different plays because it's kind of like a Marauding Captain for the deck. Next, I run 1 Barrier Statue of the Torrent. You could run multiple of this card if you want to. I just like one of it in the deck. It's a nice little tech in certain situations. Then I run Coralus, which is pretty much a nice staple card. I would hands down say you run in the deck because, you know, you can blow up your Legendary Ocean and send a whole bunch of, you know, destroy your opponent's field or break your opponent's field to some regard. So just some little cool cards to run in the deck that are nice to have. 1 Gagagagigo. Some people run this, some people don't. I just like it because it's a big beater and it's Gagagagigo. Like, I want to run Gagagagigo, so forgive me. You know, I used to run this back in the day, so I run it. But if you want to play a little bit more competitively, like, hey, maybe run a 2nd Barrier Statue of the Torrent if you want to. That's up to you. But yeah, I like it just because the beatdown matters, and it's pretty cool to do things with this card. Just fun card to play. 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. You need some hand traps. Your deck really needs that. You don't have a lot of negation per se, so you need something. So 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Pretty straightforward. 3 Legendary Ocean. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I'm also running Gagagagigo. Like, it's easy to get this guy, you know, get him out. It's easy to get the Legendary Fisherman 2 out. Some people I've talked about, you know, who have played this deck for fun, they've played around with different cards you could run in the deck. So maybe they take out the Gagagagigo if they want to and run Legendary Fisherman number 3. Or they'll take out some other cards and run 2 Legendary Fisherman number 3 and have kind of like a Legendary Fisherman deck theme along with this. Or they may take it into a more of a stun aspect and run another Barrier Statue of the Torrent. Or they'll run Gagagagigo because they just like a beatdown monster that can be normal summon to get around problematic cards, which does happen in today's game where your opponent may have a stun-esque card and you can just run over it with Gagagagigo because you just normal summon it. So there's benefits to each one of them, and it's just up to you, the player, to decide how you want to craft the deck and create the deck and play it to the way you want to play it. So that's something I want to mention about why I'm running Gagagagigo, and I'm just showing other cards you can run as well, which I do run, and sometimes I'm flipping back and forth between ratios. But 3 Legendary Ocean is definitely a staple in the deck. In addition to that, I do run 1 Terraforming, so you can easily get to this card right away because technically you have 7 ways to search it. You have Terraforming, the 3 of these, and the 3 Warrior of Atlantis. So in total you have 7 ways. So you should be able to get to this right away. 3 Turtle Oath. I'm not joking. Every time I see this card, it makes me think of Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. Like, go Master Roshi, you freaking pervert. But yes, 3 Turtle Oath. This is your ritual spell to search out Crab Turtle. And the cool thing is, you can use Pre-Preparation of Rites to search these guys out, making it extra easy. So, yes. Yes. Those pluses. 3 Preprep, like I was just talking about. You run this because this makes you be able to search Turtle Oath and to also search out Crab Turtle. Pretty straightforward, right? Next up, we run Double Rage of Kyokushan. Like I said, this card's pretty good. You know, if Umi's on the field, target monsters your opponent controls, the number of water monsters, destroy stuff, block zones. It's just a nice little card to have in the deck. You don't have to run it, but I've always liked it in the deck as a tech-in. It's pretty cool. Next, 1 Water Hazard. This is kind of like double summon to some degree for your deck, which is nice. You can run multiples if you want to, but I only like 1 because, I don't know, like, it's good, but like, you want to be careful with this card, because if you draw too many of it, it can become dead. So that's why I'm always hesitant. No more than 2. 1 Instant Fusion and 1 Monster Reborn. You may say, why are you running Instant Fusion? Hey. You know, this is not a meme deck. This is meta. And, you know, there's different combo plays we can do with Instant Fusion because we're running Sea Monster of Theseus. Yep. The best card, what was it, of 2018? Yeah. Or was it 2017? I forget. But Monster Reborn is also nice because you can reborn different things as well. So, different things you can do. And, by the way, Instant Fusion, while you will use it for going in for synchro plays, you're mainly also going to be using this too. Sometimes it does come up where you're using it for the monster that you bring out for tribute fodder. It does happen. Once in a blue moon. Tornado Wall, because this card, do not underestimate how decent this card is. It's not breaking. It's not amazing, but believe me, it's actually saved my hide a couple times, even in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Against modern decks, because, to be honest, nobody runs spot removal anymore, to some degree, unless you're running, like, what, the freaking $120 spell card, the freaking, I forget what its name is, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, it actually wins me games. I went back recently, even when I was playing online, and against a buddy last week when I was testing this deck out. So yeah, try it out. It's up to you. And then 2C Stealth Attack. I don't want to run 3 because you're not running a lot of level 5s, but this guy works great, and it gives Crab Turtle, in a way, quote-unquote, an effect. So it makes it be able to do stuff, actually, instead of just being a big vanilla beta. So yeah. Extra deck time, right? We got our Field Center. Then we have 2 number 37 Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark, which this card's pretty decent. Never forget this. Abyss Dweller, because it works amazing in a water-based deck. Hammerhead Shark, and totally awesome, because why not? It's Master Rule 5. Number 17 Leviathan, and number 47 Nightmare Shark. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to run a different level 3, go right ahead. If you want to take one of these out and run a different level 4, like Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, go right ahead. But you know, these cards can get pretty. They could become like what, 28 attack. This is gonna, if it's going to have water materials, and then it's going to have, you know, Legendary Ocean. So this could become like a big freaking thing, and it's going to become really good. You know, Toad is going to become bigger. This is going to become bigger. This is going to become bigger. So you could. That's why I'm running it, because you're always going to have Legendary Ocean on the field most of the time. But if you want to play up with the ratios, if your extra deck monsters or change them up, be my guest. Miss Starboy. We also run, as well as Mermail Abyskond, which is pretty good, actually. I like this card. Then we run Cross Sheep. You will go for Cross Sheep and then be able to draw 2 cards. So don't forget this. It actually works out well. And then we run Sea Monster of Theseus as well, which we talked about this card earlier. Synchros, we run the white, how do you pronounce it? Oh, I can't say it, whatever. You run these guys. So the reason I'm running these is because they're all water-based, and I wanted to run water-based monsters because they're going to become a little bit bigger. And, you know, Konami's always had this thing, you know, you make them a little bit bigger, like they have good effects, but they may have a little bit low attack, and if they just had a little bit more, they'd be better. And that's how this deck kind of works. Like this, if you can go into this can help you go into this stuff, you know, and then there are times you will go for these and this, you know, it's just up there, depending upon the situation. Do you have Legendary Ocean on the field? Do you not? How are you going to proceed? What cards you have in your hand? What cards do you have on the field? So I'm running just all this package here, because if you do get it out, they're going to be decent, and on top of that, they'll become a little bit bigger beaters, quote-unquote, which is nice. So yeah, that's the synchros we run. Like I said, you could run other ones if you wish, but that is what I'm running, and it's working out pretty well for me. So, saying all that, guys, I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. Like I said, it's a fun deck, not super meta. That was a joke, if you didn't catch that. Ha ha ha. But Crab Turtle is really awesome, and you know, I like making these fun little decks for you guys. You know, this is a deck that I built years ago, about 3-4 years ago, and you know, I try to update it each year for you guys because I just like it. And I didn't want to profile this on April Fool's because I want people to actually take it a little bit seriously, but yeah, you can consider this maybe an April Fool's joke, but I've taken it to local tournaments and beaten decks, and I mean like decent decks, I mean good decks, by good players, and they kind of go, what the freak just happened? So, like I said, give it a shot. Have some fun with it. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling to all of you. I'll see all of you guys next time. And good luck dueling to all of you guys. Take care and go Crab Turtle.